Well, I didn't get a call for work today, which is really frustrating. I've only gotten a couple hours in, so I'm not making the money I need to make to be able to bank the money I need to be able to get the fuck out of here, which is really frustrating. So I talked to my boss the other day, and I guess I'm missing out on a lot of jobs because you have to pee test. And I smoke pot at night, and my bosses know that. So I'm a pretty honest person. And so basically, over the last little while, I've just been naturally not smoking more. I've had my anxiety a lot more under control. And I'm at the point now where I'm just ready to give up on it if it's causing me to lose my jobs. Fuck that shit, it ain't worth it. So I'm quitting that, which is going to save me money so I can bank. My smoking, I've tried cutting down. I've tried everything I can possibly do. Like I drink water. Started smoking outside. But first thing in the morning, I will smoke a pack of smokes before work. And if it's me sitting outside the whole morning, chain smoking, inside chain smoking, it doesn't matter. I'm compulsively fucking smoking first thing in the morning. So the only thing I can think of is let my smokes run out and just don't buy anymore. I have a vape pen. So I got one of these puppies, and so I think I'm going to start using this. It's nothing like a cigarette, but I think it'll get over the original cravings, because as soon as I quit smoking, I'm a crying little baby that can't control herself. And I've had a lot of stressors in my life, and all those things aren't really heavy on my mind right now. Another thing I really wanted to talk about is I created this other Facebook to share my videos on. And it's so frustrating because I'm sharing the most personal shit in the world, right? Shit nobody would ever admit to, but I'm at the point in my life where yes, it happened, and I talk freely about exactly what happened. And I'm getting guys messaging me saying that they'll share my videos if I send them nudes. And that, they'll share my videos if I send them Bitcoin or gift cards or, and guys sending me messages saying that they love me and want to be in relationships with me. And it's so frustrating because they haven't even looked at my Facebook profile. All my videos have the max 3 to 4 views in the last month. So it's really frustrating that I've gotten over 20 guys sending me these stupid ass messages. And it's just getting to the point where I'm getting really frustrated because that's not why I started this Facebook. I didn't start it because I wanted to become famous. I started it because I want the world to know the truth of what the doctors are able to do. Doctors can put you in studies where you have no right to the law, where you have no right to health care, where they leave you to die, where you get abused, people try to kill you and call the cops, they take pictures. I mean, I've lived this life for fucking years, my whole life it feels like. And to be constantly told I'm delusional to live the reality that I lived is really frustrating. And then the fact that these guys are all trying to hit on me and don't even know who the fuck I am. Holy fuck, if we were face to face, I would fucking destroy some of these guys. It's disgusting. But yeah, so I don't know what else to say, but I'm just really frustrated that I'm just feeling like I'm not going to get to that point where my story is going to be told and the truth is going to be told because my videos aren't getting shared. Because I sound like a fucking crazy person. And it's really frustrating. So I guess once the little truths start coming out, maybe I get some more followers and maybe people start seeing the reality of the situation. And it's like on my own Facebook profile, my personal one that I have like over 600 followers, but only like 20 friends. So I know a lot of people out there that know the truth and know who I am are watching me. But they have no idea I created this account. So I know if I merged the two accounts, I would get shitloads of views. I've come out with my story before and I got 130,000 views. And the problem is, everybody's going to have their own opinion. And I guess the results of that, of telling the truth, it ended up with my daughter dying. It ended up with me back in the hospital being drugged out of my mind, being told I'm delusional, no one ever believing me. Yeah, because it was all words. It's all a story. It was never all the forms I've gotten from being put in the hospital. So it's not the time to put out that kind of stuff because it all has my information on it. But one day there will be a time that I will put all this stuff and you'll see my ramblings are true. And it's just frustrating that such things can happen in our world and everybody turns a blind eye. They can't comprehend the truth, so it must be crazy, right? And I am at the point in my life where I'm ready to give up the past and move on with the future, but I'm not allowed. You see, I go to a doctor's appointment with an ear infection. I come home with an ear infection. And I cry myself to sleep in pain. And I wake up in the middle of the night with a large stabbing pain and blood and gush and pus coming out of my ear. I wake up with pink eye, go to a doctor. I get refills for psych meds. I go in not that long ago, actually yesterday or the day before yesterday. I went in, no, it was yesterday too. I have a large parasite in my chest. I saw it on the chest x-ray. And so I've been trying to cough this shit up for like, ever since I seen it. And I can't cough it up, and it's heavy in my lungs, and it's taking up a lot of space. It's hard to breathe. And so I want a nebulizer with water and see if that works, right? And so I'm like, my oxygen's low, my blood pressure's normal, but my pulse is really high. I'm sweating, I'm clamping, my heart hurts. And so I go into the doctor's and I'm like, yeah, I just want to see the doctor on call. And before I could even say that, she totally cut me off. No doctor here will see you. Why? Because I told the truth? Because the last phone call I got from them was, I'm more than welcome to come back in. But I come back in and I get treated like shit. Well, then go to the hospital, she says to me. So I start responding by, well, I tried to go to the hospital, but... And she overtalks me again. She just keeps repeating, nobody's going to see you here. Go to the hospital. Well, yeah, I've been to the hospital. I've had myself set up on EKGs. I've had my blood pressure taken and monitoring it every 15 minutes. Monitoring my pulse, my oxygen levels, everything all whack. Do a urine test. It's all whacked. So I show up at the hospital after having all these abnormal tests. And I sit in a fucking waiting room for 6 hours. To see a shrink. They didn't put me in to see a doctor. So, if I'm not healthy enough to be able to go to work, what point is there to live? They've left me to die. All I can do, like if I wasn't living off these vet meds, I'd be dead already. I would have died 2 years ago. And I think of the person that I am, and I think of the words on the screen and the reality of what I've been through. And I'm tired of living this life sentence, and I'm tired of living as two different people. And my whole goal this year is to end this shit. And so I am going to work my ass off, and I'm going to keep myself as healthy as I can possibly do it. And by the end of summer, I'm going to be somewhere else away from these fucking doctors, hopefully seeing a doctor that doesn't have the same words on the screen. That doesn't say, she's a bitch, she killed her babies, let her die. Not. We told her she wasn't pregnant after she came in being raped, drugged, beaten. She came back, we told her she still wasn't pregnant, that she had cancer. She came back again because she was in pain. And she was told she was delusional, it was a normal period. She went to Dr. Almas. That was my first doctor, Dr. Almas. Dr. Badawi. But Dr. Badawi does a check on me, tells me that my hormones will balance out and I'll be feeling better soon. And I'm just going to have a little bit of bleeding and cramping. And I go home and I think my tampon falls out and I end up flushing down a baby. But I don't even know I'm fucking pregnant. I don't think to look in the toilet. I think I dropped out a tampon, I better put another one in. Only to later on realize I'm having 2 tampons inside me. So what the fuck fell out? Putting all this shit together, the lies, the way they talk to me. And the consistency of me going back, constantly saying I was drugged and raped. And constantly being told I was delusional. I knew I had no hope. So you start showing up for these doctor's appointments after being drugged and raped, and your arms hurt and your knees hurt and your hips hurt. And I've shown up without even showering, with the smell on my body, and show up for a rape test and be denied, told I was delusional. I'm just a drug addict whore, is what the screen says. A drug addict whore that kills her babies. I've never done drugs. The only drugs in my system were put there by Darcy Geisler. When my mom was fighting for custody of my children, I was working and she brought me food that had drugs in it. Told ministry I was out partying the next day and left my kids alone. I got drug tested and came out positive. They refused to even look at my work records. Even though I told them I was working, that I did a 22-hour shift. They didn't even bother looking. Everything that comes out of my mouth, they don't even bother looking at the evidence that I'd had. They automatically believe the doctors and they automatically believe Janet, whatever the fuck she said. Even before Darcy. So it's just so frustrating that this has been going on for like 30 fucking years. So 3 more months and it's done. And I'm so impatient after so long. I have to try something and I have to fucking live. And the world has the right to know the 5 doctors that put me in a study, that took pictures of babies dying and did nothing. And then to turn around and blame me for those babies' deaths. And yet I'm haunted every day by the sound of my baby crying after Darcy threw it in the fire. Each time Darcy threw him in the fire. Darcy burying them in the backyard. Being thrown downstairs. Coat hanger abortions. Being laughed at. Confronting him, and the abuse getting so much worse. Him telling me no one will ever believe me. And the frustration that he's right. It's been like 5 years. And all I've tried to do is move on and work. And live my life and build a life worth living for. But I have a whole system that wants to see me dead. The police, the courts, the doctors, this whole study, nurses at hospitals that I show up to and read words on the screen. I get spat on. every word out of my mouth gets dismissed. I'm seriously hurting because I've just been drugged and raped. After I know I'm already pregnant, and I've been not eating the food he's given me. I'm not drinking anything he's given me. I've made sure he couldn't push me down the stairs, never go upstairs, never go downstairs. You know, like all these rules I had to live by. Always eat out. Never smoke anything he gave me. Just trading up fucking my normal daily vitamins for pregnancy vitamins and switching the bottles so he didn't know I was taking pregnancy vitamins. I did everything I could to keep those kids safe, and if I couldn't keep myself safe, I went to get an abortion because I know what happens to kids that are born with drugs, getting thrown downstairs, born early. That's not the life that a child needs. It is our job as parents to raise better children than we are, to build a better society than we have today. So frustrating thinking, you know, I'm such a family person and I believe so much in family. And, you know, when I first met my ex, he didn't talk to his family. Today, he's a lot closer. He has a lot closer friendship with his father, with his stepmother, with his cousins, with a lot of his family, with his own kids. He started talking to again. And I've encouraged it all. And I've encouraged him to recognize his behavior and how the family responded, and that maybe a lot of things were said out of emotion. And, you know, I'm so happy for him. Yet I sit here with a huge ass family and not one of them will talk to me. And it doesn't really bother me. Because I think of the things that my family have done to me, and I don't want to see them. They're not family. Anyways, I think this has been a long enough rant. I just quit smoking pot. I'm gonna quit smoking cigarettes. I'm gonna bank up my money. I'm gonna work my ass off. I've been applying at a whole bunch of different jobs because my job isn't giving me enough hours. I'm gonna make it the fuck out of here. I will get a doctor to treat me. Just not here.